Yo, what's up, people? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's a good Friday, man. Glad to see you guys out there chilling, hanging out, kicking it. It's your boy A Reed in the mix again. Got my boy Brian in the mix. My homie Chris, he's about to come through. You know what I'm saying? We got a good show lined up for you here on MCXP Radio on the BGSC network. Proud and I'm happy that you guys can come. Please continue to like, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, all of that good stuff. Full lineup of stuff to talk about. Please leave your comments, man, so we can talk in the middle of this good damn shit, man. I'm actually excited because I feel like this is really gonna be a fun show. So without further ado, baby, let's get this shit started.
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. When they reach, watch. No sir, not for show. No bars made up of fairy tales. I'm trying for the tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign, the pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Again, man, if you just logging in, man, you are tuned in to the MCXP Radio here on BGSC Network. I am your host, musicologist A Reed. I'm sitting here chilling with my boy Brian, aka Broken Safety. You can see his tag right there. I'll be having my boy Chris. He's gonna be joining us here in a little bit. Man, I'm glad that you people are here. Again, I always say like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so anytime this show or any of the shows on the BGST network pop up, you guys can log into it. You know what I'm saying? Join us with the live comments and everything. And please, without any hesitation, please put your comments out here on the mix, man. While you sitting here watching, I'll make sure to put your comments up on the board so everybody can see it. We can discuss whatever that you got going, whatever you want to talk about, man. So it's all love. It's all love, man. Um, Brian, man, you know how we do it. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm good. It's a good Friday. It's Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get it popping.
Let's get ourselves together, people, and let's get this thing started. You know how I do it. A reads 3 points. Let's go. All right, man. 3 points. Let's get into it. Fresh, straight off the press and everything like that. I know you got something to say about it. I'm waiting for Chris to come in too. He's going to talk about it a little bit when he comes in, but let's talk, man. This is your squad. This is your team. This is what it is. We kind of talked about it in past shows. We talk about it in the chat room and everything like we do, man. Let's talk, man. The Lakers have decided that they're going to hire JJ Redick as their next head coach. Brian, how do you feel? What is it, man? Do you see potential? What is it, man? What is it?
This wasn't their first choice. Obviously, they wanted to hire Hurley from Connecticut,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he,
We
he
talked
turned
about
them
that.
he turned them down to stay in Connecticut. So I think this is I don't even know if this is was I don't know if JJ was their plan B. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I mean, of course, most people, a lot of people don't like it. I think I'm seeing more people that don't like it versus people who like it, and then there's some people that are indifferent. I'm a little more indifferent towards it. I don't like it. I don't necessarily hate it simply because of what was available. I mean, if you went for who you thought was a better coach than Hurley, and he turns you down, then I mean, what's left? Monty Williams had just got fired, and I thought maybe they would try to look at him, but I guess he wasn't really on their radar either. So um, I don't know, man. It's always risky hiring first time coaches who never have any coaching experience. We've seen that fail recently,
Okay.
badly with Steve Nash. So, but there's some first time coaches who've actually done well. Uh, Jason Kidd, um, Ty Lue. So I don't believe Ty Lue had any coaching experience either when he got hired as head coach. I don't think he sat on the bench before then. So we'll
Um,
see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
it's not to say that a first time head coach is going to do good and necessarily going to do bad. I think that when you become a head coach in any league, I mean, you got to start somewhere. I feel like you got to start somewhere. Um, I think you already kind of said it and mentioned it. The last person that I can think that was almost coming off the street, if you want to, coincide and say it like that, wasn't Steve Nash. I don't think Steve Nash had any kind of first time head coach experience. I don't know if he was an assistant or anything like that.
Nah, he
Uh,
wasn't. He
he
yeah,
wasn't. See,
he was not.
so
He
so to
went
me,
straight just like Jason Kidd, he went straight to head coach.
okay, okay,
Derek Fisher retired, and the very next season he was a head coach of a basketball team.
I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. It doesn't raise. Well, it does make me wonder a little bit. Um, it makes you wonder what the Lakers' plan is as far as because I know that this is a organization who they want to win every year. Their main goal is to, put the right pieces together to always be in the playoffs every year, to always be in the finals every single year. I think I had mentioned to you guys that the Lakers, I've never felt like the LA Lakers organization believes in a rebuilding stage. I think every year it just seems like it's win or go home. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't necessarily know how this particular head coaching hire is going to benefit. Not to put JJ Redick down, of course. We have to see what happens. It's always a try and see kind of effort thing. Um, but this can go one or two ways, man. This can go one or two ways. It can either be an excellent move, it proved out to be the right hire at the end of the season, or this can be a complete bombshell. Um, Again, I'm not putting JJ down. I just never thought I would ever see JJ Redick as a head coach. Assistant coach, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But head coach, I think that if he was going to be a head coach, it would have probably been a few years down the line after getting some assistant coaching experience somewhat. Um, but to just come right off the street, put him right there in the mix. Supposedly, from what they were saying, the Lakers organization was paying close attention to what Anthony Davis and how he was feeling about it. So I think it was more kind of Anthony Davis that kind of pushed this. It wasn't necessarily LeBron being in the mix, which I know a lot of people are going to say that it was LeBron pushing this forward because he does have the podcast with JJ. But in retrospect, what they were saying that it really came from how AD felt, how he felt as far as the direction and everything going. So um, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like a toss up. It makes me very interested to see how the Lakers are going to play in the next season. Um, what kind of things that he's going to implement as far as the offense, as far as the defense. I don't know. This to me, this is quite interesting, man. Quite interesting. I know this isn't the guy that you particularly wanted. I thought personally that the Lakers probably would have went after Monty Williams or something like that. Um, but again, you know, uh, after after Hurley had said no, and after they said Monty wasn't a target, it kind of left it up in the air, man. Mm-hmm.
There's no guarantee that Hurley would have been a good NBA head coach. I mean, some college head coaches transition to the NBA and they suck in the NBA. I mean, we saw that with Rick Pitino.
Okay.
Rick Pitino actually coached in the NBA before,
He did. He did.
and did poorly. His teams didn't do well. So whether that be talent or what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's talent. Um, NBA and I was thinking I was gonna say the NBA is like the only head sport where guys just walk off the street and straight into a head coaching job, and that's not true. Because the more I thought about it, uh, the other two sports that I could think of, well, the only one sport I could think of with specific advanced examples is Major League Baseball. With Major League Baseball, there have been players who retired and then
Ended up
got
becoming
straight,
manager.
yeah, end up becoming a manager. And
Uh-huh.
and baseball, the head coach per se is the manager of the team. He's called a manager. He's not called a head coach. He's
Right.
just, he's
Right.
he's the manager. So it happened with Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone, when he and he's still at the Yankees. So Aaron Boone, when Aaron Boone got hired by the Yankees, he had no managing experience or any managing or even bench coach, no assistant coach, like pitching coach, hitting coach. He didn't do anything anywhere at any level,
Right.
because he was in the majors his whole career. So he and then he's been I would say he's done a okay job in New York with the Yankees. Like, as long as he's been there, they haven't won any World Series, but they went on a couple playoff runs.
He's
Uh,
kept
he
them in
get
the mix. Yeah.
he kept them in the mix. He's gotten criticism, but it's not enough for him to get fired yet. So and he hasn't lost the locker room, the dugout, or the locker room or whatever. Um, so as long as you don't lose your players, you can stick around. Uh, Major League Baseball also, I don't remember his name, but I do remember there was a guy. He was an announcer for a team. He was like a fucking. He wasn't even a play-by-play guy. He was like the fucking the color commentary guy. And they
Mm.
hired, and I forgot which. It was either Baltimore, St. Louis, or
That
I
do sound
forgot what
familiar. That
I
do sound
forgot
familiar.
which team. I forgot which team this was. He was their fucking announcer, and they hired this guy to be the fucking manager of the fucking team
Yeah.
from the announcer's booth off the street with no experience, no managing experience.
It's
So I
crazy.
mean,
It's
it
crazy.
happens. It happens in other sports. I don't think I've ever seen that in the NFL.
No, 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 no. That's
I don't
damn near
think I've.
illegal in the NFL.
Yeah,
Like you
the
have to have like some kind of resume, some kind of experience in coaching when it comes to the
somewhere,
NFL.
it's
They don't
like
play. They don't play
somewhere,
that
like
bullshit.
somewhere.
Yeah, they don't
I
play that.
mean, Deion Sanders couldn't go straight into a head coaching position in the NFL. Deion Sanders haven't even been a head coach in the NFL yet, and that's where he would love to be there. He would love to be head coaching the Cowboys. I mean, imagine Deion Sanders head coaching the fucking Cowboys, like, or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
nine or the Niners or the Falcons. He would love, you can tell that's where he wants to be at. You got career guys that can't even get a head coaching job in the NFL. You got uh my boy from Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy. Eric
Which is
Bieniemy,
crazy.
he been dying for a head coaching
Which
position
is
and can't
crazy.
get one. But the NFL, like you said, they do not play that. You have to come up the ranks somewhere. You
Yeah,
have to have been a head coach in college.
yeah.
Uh,
You gotta
most of
have
them
that on your resume. Somewhere,
most of them
somehow, you
college
gotta have that on
guys
your resume.
most of them college guys have years of experience. Even the young guys, right? So even young guys like McVay, the other young guy in Miami, they have coaching experience, even if it wasn't head coach experience. So they were hired very young as head coaches, but they came up through. They were like video guys. Then they were,
Position coaches, something like that.
position coaches. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they
yeah,
they came. They still worked their way up to head coaching through the coaching profession
yeah.
before they were hired. They didn't come. McVay and the guy from Miami, they didn't come straight off the street. So the NBA does it. Major League Baseball have done it a couple times. I'm pretty sure soccer has probably done it. I know there's been some former like really great soccer players who became managers. Zinedine Zidane was a really famous soccer player for the French national team. I think he played for several teams, either Premier League or Bundesliga or wherever he played at, and which leagues he played in, whatever La Liga, whatever, all those different leagues they have in Europe. And I'm not sure if he had any managing or head coaching experience before he got hired as a manager. Probably, I don't know. But I'm sure it's happened in soccer. And but NFL different, man. NFL, they do the coaching game in NFL. It's like it's so complicated, and there's so many different positions that a head coach have to worry about, and the greatest head coaches like can literally head coach like any position. Like I'm pretty sure
Pretty much.
Andy Reid can
Pretty
walk up
much.
to the corner. He can walk up to the cornerbacks and tell them what they're doing wrong. He could walk up to the linebackers and tell them to do something different. The receivers, the O line, the D line. That he can do it all. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, but
mean,
head coaches have their position. Head coaches, they're designed to just not. They gotta be necessarily over the whole team. Even though they have position coaches, they
mhm.
still have the power to go all the way around across the board to just make sure that every single person is doing what they need to do. With that being said, man, Chris just came into the mix. Let me go ahead and bring him in because I know he want to talk about this. My boy Chris, man, what's going down, boy?
What's up, brothers?
All good, man. Much love. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you in the mix, man. Let's talk about it, man. We was just talking about the Lakers hiring JJ Redick. Um, Brian said that he's kind of on the fence on it. How you feeling, man? I know that's your
Yeah,
squad.
yeah, we on the fence about it. It a lot of it depends on who they surround him with, and hopefully those assistants respect him, right? Like it's going to be tough, especially if those assistants feel like they are head coaches themselves, and that's the rumor right now is that Jeannie and Rob want to surround him with head coaches or assistants, right? Fucking crazy, but
How you
but
gonna
we'll see.
surround him with head coaches? And is it that's kind of just isn't it, that's kind of backwards in a sense.
But I mean, if there's head coaches that are, I mean, if there are guys that are head coach material, want to be an assistant to JJ Redick, they're going to interview for the job, and they're probably interviewing for those jobs right now. Whoever that might be, right?
Believe it or not, I think I saw something that said like Doris Burke. They was even trying to put her
No,
as an assistant.
don't believe none of that shit.
Hey,
The only
I
person I
mean, I mean, this is that if
that's
that
heard about
imagine if that were to happen. That is oh my god. I hate to see the fall
we're a laughing stock.
of our franchise, but yeah, dude, we would be a joke. Even I would have to finally just
Like distance
say,
myself from the team and shit. Like
oh, like that's a joke. That would be an absolute joke hire. And that would make me very upset at Rob and Jeannie for doing that. I would be pissed at them for doing that.
damn,
not only would I
damn.
be at those two bozos. I will also be pissed at everybody else that work in between them, who is just like, that's a good
Didn't say nothing.
idea.
Didn't say nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Don't have the ball. Don't have the balls to speak out against something like that. That's
Yeah.
insane. That would be insane. That would be insane. And
Those work don't even do NBA, WNBA games like that. Like, no.
Well, do y'all feel like the Lakers could have took more time to find somebody other than JJ, or was it just? It seemed like they were on a timeline to really just get somebody in the mix.
well, they need to have a head coach in there by the draft. I mean, the head coach has
Mm.
to be there. Has to have input on what type of team does he want to have, what type of system is he going to run, and which guys. The scouting department obviously are already looking at guys. They already have ideas of who lines up based on where they're picking, right? But the head coach is somebody who has to have input on that. You don't do a draft and then hire a head coach after the draft and say, yeah, these are the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your team. No, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, they were definitely on the timeline. They have to get a guy in there first, and to surround them with head coaches is, I mean, how could a guy who's head coach material, how would you feel if you end up feeling like you're doing this person's job? Like, I'm
No, you see
actually,
that's another story in itself. That's another story in itself.
I mean, but JJ is not like, okay, he's never been a coach before, but knows basketball. He knows basketball in the sense to where I believe he can make changes on the fly. He can make situational changes, right? And rotational changes too on the fly. That's an upgrade from Darvin Ham already. So if he has his, if he just do that, okay, cool. You still have a bunch of dudes who can still help you, with other stuff. But I don't really like the hire, but I think he'll be okay. And if we do have a bunch of head coaches as his assistant, we will already have as a replacement right there. There's no change, none of that stuff, because we don't care about paying coaches, because we're paying 19 coaches now probably still. So he can easily just get fired in the middle of the season, because we will fire you no matter what we said we won't pay you. We will fire you. You'll go off into the sunset. We'll have somebody else in. That's just what we do. We do stupid shit like that.
it's interesting. It's interesting that his pay details haven't leaked yet. I haven't heard that anything about his contract details or what he's getting paid. Usually that would have been 4 years at how much?
I don't know. That part I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. Usually the money would have leaked by now. It's interesting that it hasn't. The fact that his money hasn't leaked means that the team don't want anybody to know, because
you overpay.
I don't think they overpay for. I don't think they overpay for him. I think he wants. I think he took the job for less money than they were going to give Hurley.
No, but I do too.
A lot less money. A lot less money.
He's not worth that amount of money anyway, even if it's a smaller amount. So
right.
Regardless of what they gave him, they probably overpaid for him for whatever reason. I don't know. I must really believe in him to just hire him like that.
Possibly, man. Possibly.
I just don't know. He has chops, but this might be a Pat Riley thing,
I mean, he's gonna need help with timeouts, clock management, stuff like that. Guys, telling, well, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna need. He's a smart dude, and maybe he can process all of this information. Maybe he has a mind like a computer, where he has a really good memory. He can process. Hey, I got a guy with 4 fouls. I got 12 minutes left in the game. This is what I'm going to do here. This is who I'm going to bring in here. We have to wait and see how smart JJ really is, how much he's able to process, how much information he can use. Like, Dr. Buss was a genius. He was a mathematical genius. Dude was like Like very smart, very very fucking smart. He can do math in his head. He could do all the fucking Lakers books and the numbers, like almost in his head. They said that, you know. So the Lakers' money and numbers was never going to be a problem because Dr. Buss was a mathematical genius. I'm not saying JJ is that smart, but if he's half, 20%, 15% of that, then maybe he can process a lot of information on the fly. Hopefully, that's just me being optimistic about it. That's the only thing I can be now is optimistic. I mean, I never want to hate on my team. I never want to wish them to fail. So I
Real
want him
talk,
to
real
succeed.
talk.
I want him to succeed. So hopefully he does. We'll see.
I think me and
Okay.
Brooke like on the same. Like, I don't like I said, I'm not really for the hire, but at the same time, no, like I don't want this nigga to fail. Like I want him to do good, and I seen this. I seen him with Brian. I seen the show with Brian. Like he know X's and O's. Like that's evident.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that there will be some good in it. I don't think that it's going to be like a complete total failure. Guy has obviously played in the league. He knows situations. He knows a lot of stuff, a lot more than a lot of people do. So all you can just say right now, man, is just let's just wait and see how that goes, man. So no doubt, man. Glad to hear that from y'all, man. Let's go to the second point that I got. Second point. Kind of mentioned it a little bit. Me and Chris was kind of talking about this, man. The greatest era in video game history. See, I've got a picture of some of the all-time greats when it comes to. Let me take this back down so you can see some of those at the bottom. But some of the best video game systems that we had over the years. Of course, the NES, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Xbox, Sega Saturn, you know what I'm saying? The Dreamcast, all of that good stuff. Look, Chris actually said it. He said, "Was that the NES you was talking about?" That you said
like right before like Sega came out, like those are like the dark year, like the early '80s going into the '90s, like the dark ages. Like,
how was that the dark ages when those are the ones that streamlined and started everything, though, bro?
because you're looking at video games in totality, right? So if that was the dark ages, then where we at now is like, technology age or some shit like that. I don't know. It was way more advanced than we ever could imagine, right? Especially when we talk about double dribble. They had cut scenes for dunks. Like, and that was fire.
This was fired in my that looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you saw your dude jump in the air like this. You go straight up.
Yeah.
Cut scene, dunk, take it out.
No, you would spam threes by jumping out of bounds and then turning around to shoot the three.
If you knew that trick.
I didn't know that trick. I did. That's the first time I ever heard that.
If you knew that
Oh yes. You jump towards the out of bounds line, towards
it
the
was
out
the
of bounds
corner,
line.
the corner three at the top.
Yeah, the corner three,
You could spam the shit out of that. And just make threes all day day long. They actually did it on the Family Guy episode, which was fucking hilarious.
Damn. I did not know that. I swear to God, I did not know that.
Yeah, you could literally jump. You could literally start your jump shot, float out of bounds, turn around and shoot and spam the three and just bingo every time almost. Like almost this shit was like a 90% fucking make rate on that shot.
Friends of Steph.
Those of y'all watching, please put your comments. What do you think? The best.
At least that's how I
JJ
remember.
I did not know.
What do you think, Reed? What do you think?
As far as what the best era?
Yeah.
I think we're in the best era now. Just to answer the question.
Well, yeah, you would have to say now, based off the advances and everything and the technology and the stuff that we have. Like everything that we play now looks fucking real. It just looks real. Even though it's in a video game form, it looks real. You look at the games like Uncharted. You look at games like even God of War. You look at games, what we've been playing with Battlefield and stuff like that.
Battlefield or something like that.
All of that, man. It looks.
So we just basing this off graphics?
No,
No,
it's
no,
just
no, 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 no. We're saying like in a whole totality, what was the
the
best?
whole
What is
thing.
the best era? I think now because of the advancement of the technology that we had, yes, now is probably the best era. But there's no way that I would ever discredit
There's
80s, 90s game.
more classics back in the day, though. There's way more classic games back in the day than there is now. Like
The games back in the 80s and 90s made you become a gamer of what you are today.
yeah,
That's how I feel. If it wasn't for those games, if it wasn't for the Contras and the Marios and the Sonics and everything like that, I probably wouldn't even be playing games now, to be quite honest. The double dribbles, the Tecmo Bowls.
Contra's a long game, and they wanted
Contra's
you,
not that long.
but they wanted you to go through that whole thing with three lives.
I
Like
could do it.
if
Well,
you
To this day, I can do it.
well, that's why you had the cheat code. That's
that's
why
what
you had the
I'm
cheat
saying.
code.
We had to use that. Niggas was not. We are not dedicated enough to just on three.
I'm
We
gonna
can,
stream that. I'm gonna stream that for y'all. I'm gonna stream that for y'all. Y'all gonna watch me do that.
oh the run through on three lives.
I will run through it on 3 lives. I'll put that on there. Y'all hear me saying it live. I will stream that so you guys can watch it. I'm gonna find a day. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ahead because I got it on PS5.
you definitely better than me. You definitely better than me. I could not do that.
I'm decoded.
I couldn't do that. That's pretty cold right there. That's pretty cold.
That's how much I played Contra. As long as I get that spray, it's on and pop.
My opinion on the best era ever is the advent of the internet era. So the online gaming. So we're talking about Xbox One, and when Xbox Live came, and
Okay,
then
let's back.
and PSN Network. I
Yeah,
just believe, and then and I think that goes into 360 a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think 360 is kind of early 360 days is kind of part of that first era. But I'm talking about Xbox One and PlayStation 2.
mm.
With online when those systems went online, that was amazing for you to be able to play with people from across the world. You could talk to them. All of the lobbies were lit. Everybody was talking. Uh, the majority of people who were playing games during then, they probably made most of the friends that they made online during those first 4, 5, 6, 7 years. They probably made more friends during that period than any period after that. Like, I'm sure a lot of people out there, original online gamers, we still have people on our friends list or friends from that early era. You know what I'm saying? People that we met then, and they may be still on our list, on our friends list. We probably still game with some of them. We still talk to some of them. Some of them, you may have fell out with, or you may have kind of lost contact with. But I still got guys on my friends list from that early era, even if I don't necessarily play with them. So it's kind of crazy, man. It's just it's crazy. That I think that was the best era, man. I mean, the graphics had gotten so much better at that point, but
Hmm.
a lot of the games were really fun. A lot of the games now, to me, they're not as fun as some of those games. Like the first time I played Metal Gear Solid, or Unreal Championship, when you're playing online, Fantasy Star Online, Halo 2, I believe, was the first one that went online, right? So like those games, I mean, when Xbox Live came out, and that I think that was, to me, that's my favorite, that's my personal favorite era of gaming. I
I
have
didn't necessarily get online.
so many
Uh,
memories from those days.
So
I wasn't
360.
online until PS3 360 era.
Yeah,
And
me too.
the only reason that I'm going to say for me that was a dark era for me is because I went through so many Xbox 360s because of that fucking red ring.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like it would piss me off because I'm missing at least a week and a half of playing games online. I mean, hell, I met you guys online off of 360. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, um, I had to. I mean, I swear I had to have had at least 4, maybe 5 refurbished freaking Xboxes just because of that red. And I never knew how it happened, how it came along, because I always took care of my systems. But I just used to hate it when you press that button and if the red ring comes on, you're just like, oh my god.
Ain't shit you can do except send that motherfucker back.
But Xbox was legit with that. That if you had that, you could just call them, tell them, hey, I got the red ring. They would send you the box. You send them the system, and you know what I'm saying. They hook you up with that refurbished joint. So like, all they would tell you is just pop out your hard drive, keep your hard drive with you. You know what I'm saying? So I give y'all kudos for that shit. Kudos for that shit. But
Well,
real talk.
we had modded systems also in the 360 era. We had a guy, we called him the Warlock. And he modded game. We were buying like 5, 6, sometimes 10 games a week.
I think I still have those.
Five. I still got some of my burnt games.
Yeah.
And we were buying 5 games a week, man. We was buying 20 to 25 games a fucking month. Like, and that's we literally had everything. We had all the games. The only thing about it was that we had to keep going to get the box updated. So we would have to take our Xboxes back over to him for him to reinstall the mod or something like that, So he would tell us like, hey, they caught the mod. Don't play this weekend. I'll remod y'all or whatever. Bring it over. So we would have to wait for our systems, or we would have to wait for games or something like that. But I mean, we had all, dude.
That's a smart brother.
I had a library of like 100, 150 games. Like, we had every game. It was crazy. How could that not be my favorite era? When I was getting all those games for free.
Everything he's saying is true. It was just like,
well, they weren't free.
Crazy. It wasn't free, but it was just like, it might as well be. I still pay for 2K. That's the only game I really played for. But everything else, it was like, I would just hit this thing. If something new just interests me, just hit the nigga up and be like, yo, can you, I come pick it up real quick. Just to try it. It don't even matter. Shit, I'll never even buy. Just to try it.
We had a dude at who worked at GameStop, right? And we would use different tactics of getting new Xboxes for free, basically. Like, so we was since he worked there, we would trade in a red ring system and get a brand new system, but a used system. You know what I'm saying? So we was trading in systems, getting used systems. We were going back and forth between PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Like, oh, I'll get a PlayStation 3 this week. Okay, I'll get I need another 360. Oh yeah, for sure. Bring it in, man. I'll hook you up with a new 360 or whatever. So the shit was crazy. That era was insane.
Oh, y'all hit the lick, man. Shit, I didn't have nothing like that now.
It's like one day, just all that shit just stopped. I think
right.
360. The Xbox after 360, because they cut all that shit out after that. Like, when that motherfucker came out, it was no more of that shit. That shit just came to a complete stop.
You talk what the newest 360, the
one right, the Xbox after the 360.
Oh well, yeah, Xbox. Well, they stopped it during the 3. I believe that didn't that stop during the 360 era or the one right after the 360.
I think it might. It may have went on. It stopped for me when the following Xbox came out. That's when it stopped for me.
The Xbox One.
That was Xbox One.
Yeah, that was Xbox One.
That's what it was. Yeah.
As soon as it came out, that was it for me.
Yeah. Those systems couldn't be modded. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, not to my knowledge. Yeah.
But that 360, was probably one of the greatest systems ever.
Yeah.
I had tremendous fun. I mean, I was still in college when I had that. That was probably one of the greatest systems ever. I probably had the most fun online gaming with that 360, especially playing Halo Reach.
Mm-hmm.
I know we played a lot of Graw. Did Gears of War online. Just yeah, man. Yeah. And then we had
Yeah.
them little parlor games that we would get on, nigga. Whether that shit was like Uno or fucking spades or whatever the case it was, like we just being a bitch just bullshitting, you know. So fucking
Yeah.
N
So
plus Shank.
Shank. Yeah. Shank. That game was
I
fun.
Yeah,
don't know about this shit, bro.
Shank.
That game was super fun.
I still got that
Not
on the
worth
box,
the
bro.
Xbox store at all. I think I have
Still
it for
got it
PlayStation.
on.
Is that for PlayStation?
I don't think it was ever for PlayStation, man. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think Shank ever came out on play. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I still got it. I
It's
got
not
it
on
on my shit.
account, but
That shit was classic,
it's just not in the store at all.
man. It's not in the store. You gotta find it, bro. Cause I don't know how I got it.
It might not be in the store. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of the games. If you've had your account for a long time, I mean, it stores a record of all of your games. Like you go in your games list, it might be there. Like when you go to all games, even if it's not downloaded to your system, it might show up in your library.
My Savage Grip one is a new one. The Grip Ratchets one. I don't remember the password or the actual email that one was attached to. So I think that one has Shank under it. Shank 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
the graphics now are really good and everything like that. I just think that a higher amount of quality games were coming out during, especially PlayStation 1, Xbox One, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2, I believe, had the largest library in video game history.
Mm-hmm.
Like something I don't know the specific number, but I know it was thousands of titles were released.
I'm looking for one now.
For that system.
PS2.
So
I'm looking for one now, yeah.
I remember AAA games were coming out once a week, it seems like, during the 360 PS2 era. Like in plenty of,
they was coming out. It was coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bunch of games that were coming out then, and I just think I don't know. Even though we have better graphics now and everything, but I think a lot of those games were just very fun. Very fun to play.
Yeah. See this?
Yeah.
PlayStation Deuce, man.
Hey, I got a website for you. You can go to find old systems. I'm looking for a Dreamcast because I want to get a Sega Dreamcast off of that website, but it's sold out. I think there's a way you can sign up. They'll email you when the system is available.
PS2 and Mark Echo joint.
You can get a PS2 off of eBay for like $200.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Narc, old school Max Payne.
I remember that. Narc.
That's right. This one they don't even make no more. 25 to life. They ain't make this shit no more.
I got that game and I traded it.
Old school Punisher, let's go, man.
That game. I had the disc too. Yeah.
Motherfucker, Oni Musha, what's up, bro? You got classics, man. I need my PS2 back. You said eBay? I'm hitting eBay.
Look at eBay.
The only thing about video games sometimes is that the classics should stay classic, because sometimes you'll ruin the nostalgia by going back and playing some of those old games, man. I tell you,
not for me.
That's how you know those updates are not for us.
Not for
me.
They're not for us. They're not made for us. Like, we at the age where they
I sent y'all a picture today of me playing the fucking Ninja Turtles game from Nintendo.
First game on Earth, nigga.
I have to beat that. I'm determined to beat that at some point in time. In my life.
Underwater level?
I beat that today. That shit was hard, but I beat that bitch. It was hard.
That So a lot of those older games were extremely hard. They were just
For no
extremely
damn
hard.
reason.
There was
For
no
no
reason for them
freaking
games
reason.
to be that hard. Bionic Commando,
For no
fucking
reason.
dude, them games were fucking hard, man.
No
They were
save.
classic. No save. You're right. There was
Yeah,
no
no,
save.
Ninja Gaiden was terribly hard. The first Ninja
Oh
Gaidens
my gosh.
were extremely difficult. They were just extremely difficult.
That game was
Raiden,
like that.
Raiden was extremely all those space flight shooters were you just couldn't beat them. You couldn't beat those games. Could never beat those games.
Yeah.
Fire ass box art. That it was legit when you seen the box art. Like
Yep. Yep. True that.
You try to play that
Oh,
game,
shit.
man. You try to play that game, barely get through the second level, man. You're like, man, fuck this game. It's hard.
Man.
box art
All right,
fire.
y'all. Let's get to the last point of it. Last one of the 3 points, man. Video game era. We've talked JJ Redick. We've talked video game history. Let's talk about this, man. This shit that just happened. I want to say a couple days ago on Juneteenth. Everybody and their mama talking about it. But Kendrick Lamar has the pop out concert, which was hands down probably one of the dopest things that I've ever seen in my life. I know Chris, you had watched it, but
I
man here,
was fucking blown away.
this man here decides to have a Juneteenth concert, brings out some of the hottest celebrities, Dr. Dre, number of guys, Tyler the Creator. He had the forum lit, every sort of thing, man, that you could think of. He played, or he actually performed They Not Like Us 5 times. And 6 times, it was 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the crowd was just lit. I mean, them to just saying it word for word. And one of the best things that he did, as you can see right here on this picture, man, he actually had all the different sets in California on the stage at the same time. Crips, Bloods, Pyrus, whatever you can think of. And they were all on.
Bloods.
I mean, just pretty much.
It's mostly blood.
Yeah, mostly Bloods. Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? But had them all on the stage representing. Nobody was getting hurt. Nobody was getting killed. None of that kind of stuff, man. And they was all celebrating. Everybody was dancing, not like us. They took a group picture, as you can see right there. Yo, man, what can you say, bro? What can you say? Like, damn, dude. Damn. If this, to me, y'all, if this doesn't solidify who quote unquote won this battle, if you want to call it that, how can you not say Kendrick don't do it, bro? How can you not say Kendrick? At this point, to me, I feel like Drake cannot even come to California and do a show.
I know he 100% can do a show in California, and he probably doing it over the summer too. I don't really count that. I won't bet against that. But
maybe he could.
He could.
But I feel like if he does a show, it's gonna be people in the audience screaming "No Be Ho."
Could be that too.
All concert.
Could be that too. Could be that too. It's gonna be rough, but I wouldn't put it past him to try to get a show out in California.
Chris, you saw it, man. What did you think? You said you was blown away. What was it that blew you away?
First I was by how it was shot, how it looked. It looked like cinematic and stuff like that. And it was mad different camera angles and stuff like that. That added to the performance. This nigga had like fireworks going off at almost every song and stuff, probably gang of people and stuff. It just looked like it was a great time. It didn't look as crazy as I thought it would, like in the audience or in the crowd or whatever. It didn't look as crazy as I thought it was, right? So, and I never even seen Kendrick in concert in any way, shape, or form, right? And I kind of shy away from West Coast music too, but he don't really make West Coast music. Like he just make music. He just so happened to rap. That's what I took away from that. The shit was good. It was really, really good. I'm probably never going to see it again, but it was really good.
That's fire, man.
Blew my head off. Pause.
Brian, did you see it? Did you see anything of it?
I saw clips of it. And like Chris was saying, the camera angles were amazing. Saw people saying that, hey man, the camera people should earn a Emmy for this or some kind of award for some of the angles and shots they were getting. It looked very film like, movie like. I mean, it was top tier production value. The production value of that concert was really good, and yeah, really good angles. I mean, sold out. It looks like it was a sold out stadium. I mean, the stadium looked packed. Camera angles can hide empty seats, and they put tarps over empty seats and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it just looked filled. It was a bunch of people there. It was a good time. There's no violence that happened, which is great. Love to hear it. That
People of all different colors was there.
everybody got out peacefully, celebrated. You know what I'm saying? And nothing went down. I did see a clip of Big Hit talking to Tyler. Said something about we got to after all this is over, we got to catch a fade or something like that. That was
I forget. They also clip of him tripping over something and falling down with his grandson in his arms. They just fell when he was on the stage and stuff. Big Hit.
Yeah, that's funny. But I mean, it looked amazing, man. Shout out to Big Hit, man. Shout out to Hit Boy and all them dudes. Like them fools, like they on the run right now. But yeah, that shit was crazy, dude. That shit was crazy.
I think one of the dopest angles that I saw was when he was doing Not Like Us. He did the wop wop wop, and it was like 5 different freaking angles that they did. Like wop 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 wop. I'm gonna do my stuff. Wop 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 wop. That fuck him up. Like it was like goddamn. Like yeah, bro. Yeah. And then I don't know necessarily if it's a all around deeper meaning of what it is. I saw this TikTok of it with this girl talking. I think I sent it to y'all as well. But the chick was saying how there was a bigger meaning than just what we saw on the TV. How Kendrick is actually showing that he is the culture, that he is a product of the culture, a product of the environment. With having all of the gangsters and stuff up there on the stage. But he's like, nigga, I really lived this life compared to Drake, who she was saying he's pretty much cosplaying the life of gangsters and stuff like that because he didn't start from the bottom. He's always been in good houses and stuff like that. He was fucking in Degrassi, I mean, he's always, he's not basically what he's saying that he is. And that was just basically like, hey, nigga, I've been here. This is what I've done. Even hearing Kendrick saying like, man, we done lost a lot of people to this shit. A lot of the stuff that was going on, we ain't been the same since Nip has died. We ain't been the same since Kobe has died. Like this shit is monumental. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he said that it was bigger than the beef. He said this whole thing was just bigger than the beef. So
the different sets up there really that's a really big thing. Even if it is just all bloods and stuff, but not all bloods get together, not all blood gangs get together. They're not all on the same page. So just to have different members from different sets up there in unity, that's a really big thing. It's a really big thing. So it's bigger at that when it gets to something like that. It's not even about Drake no more. Like we knew Kendrick won a long time ago. It's about this. This is about something way bigger than just some music shit.
Facts.
Facts.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I think it's different. It's definitely different. I think different avenues. There's room for different subcultures, I guess, inside of hip hop. Some subcultures worse than others. You know what I'm saying? Some subcultures could be detrimental or whatever and self-destructive. But then there's there's different rooms for subcultures. Uh, Drake is just he doesn't. I don't think Toronto really has a real. Drake doesn't really have a real root in a home culture like that to be able to do that, right?
Hmm.
Like like
Game
like
Hmm.
because LA is one of the home bases of hip hop.
True.
It's like if the main home of hip hop is New York, Brooklyn, the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, a park in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, New York City, then LA is definitely, you know, second or third
it's hip
at
hop's
at,
on the West
at,
Coast.
at the least. Like so LA, you have these major bases of hip hop, New York, LA, Atlanta, Houston, Chicago. Um, you could probably throw in Miami. You could throw in New Orleans, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So you can throw in Oakland,
St.
you
Louis,
know, St. Louis. So you have these Philadelphia,
Philadelphia, yeah.
Yeah.
Philadelphia for sure. So and then upstate New York been coming on strong as of late. But I mean, Toronto just ain't never really been that to hip hop.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's really nowhere outside of America has really been that to hip hop, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there are other hub cities or countries like that that's akin to like LA or New York or these other cities we named. There's nothing outside. He's right. Nothing outside of US is like that. Like all the hubs are here.
True.
yeah, all the major hubs, all of the, if you want to say lore, all of the canon, hip hop canon, all of that,
Yeah.
like begins and ends inside of the United States. So, like, and Drake kind of,
He had to
he
adopt somewhere, bro. He had to adopt a
Ties
city
and
or
yeah.
something like that.
stuff in different cities and
So
states.
yeah, Atlanta, Houston, so he tries to, and I don't.
We hated that shit. We hated that shit. When we heard that the niggas trying to hold down Houston like that, we were like, bro, get the fuck
Because you're not from Houston.
out.
Like
Yeah.
you're not from here. Like you're just not from
Yeah.
here.
Ain't nowhere in the world. Pimp C was still alive. Pimp would not have a song with that motherfucker at all. At all. He was
I
on
mean,
Pimp C's last album. Well, not his last, his like second to last album. That was like already when he had passed.
Mm.
oh wait, Drake was on there.
Yeah. Yeah. The Pimp had already passed away.
I mean, I don't know. You know, it took a lot to convince Pimp to even do the song with Jay, with Hove. So
A lot of
I
convincing.
mean, it took a lot of convincing to even get that track, the first
To get
track they did together made.
The Big Pimpin', yeah.
So I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna try to speak for a dead man. I don't know if he would have ever actually did a song with him or not. I mean, I can't. I don't know. Drake was just a very huge name in hip hop. Then I don't know if everybody was totally aware of his full origin. I mean, everybody knew he came from Degrassi and all that, but when you have the cosign of Lil Wayne, people do not understand how influential Lil Wayne was. If we all do, but if you're young, you know what I'm saying, and you kind of got into hip hop after Lil Wayne was like really hot and everything like that. Like if what you know is Drake after Wayne, Cole, Kendrick, if that's what you know what I'm saying, like,
you're missing a
and
lot.
then you try to.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it's easy to criticize Drake now, but nobody was really criticizing Drake when he was with Wayne
But I
because
think
But he
Wayne
was
had.
but
I don't think that's true though. I think what the criticisms that he's getting now, he's been getting. It just took somebody with a bigger voice to actually say it. But you don't get all of these rappers to feel this way because you're making all the good music. There's something else going on there. Whether it's real or not, there's something else going on with Drake and just about every single mainstream.
I think that's true, but not early on though. Most of the people that kind
It's
of don't like him now had songs with him. Even Kendrick has songs with
okay.
Drake.
Oh, but it's the okay. The bar that
Like
Kendrick said. The bar that Kendrick
Rick
said.
Ross did, all the Atlanta guys did. Like all they Drake has featured with all these guys, with all
The
of them.
bar
So
that
you can't
Kendrick
really
says is that
say.
I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like him when he's acting tough. I feel that if Drake had stayed in the lane of, because how did he when he was with Wayne, all he did was just talk about bitches, the melodic singing, all of this that he was talking about. He wasn't talking hard. He wasn't doing anything like that. Nothing like
I mean, a little bit, a little bit. I
that.
mean,
Yeah, not really, man.
Wayne has always been gangster though. Always. Wayne has always been gangster. I mean, they did
We get
he
messed with
did
that.
the rock and roll kind of little skater era.
Mm-hmm.
So Wayne went into kind of like the skateboard Wayne. Let's call him skateboard Wayne era, right? And he experimented with kind of a fusion with hip hop and rock, had some more rock beats and stuff like that. Well, even on the album I'm Not a Human, I mean, Wayne was always still talking gangster shit. So Drake, by extension, he was able to say some things that he so like you say, he was still portraying a little more than what he was. But I mean, to have the cosign of Wayne, like you can you can be hard. That people try to like, for example, right, with Eminem, people try to act like Eminem never said gangster shit or anything like that. Like people try to act like, well, Eminem, all he did was rap about his mom and his girlfriend and everything. That's totally not true. Like there's songs where he talk about shooting people and stabbing people and beating people up. You know what I'm saying? Like there's Eminem has spit a little gangster shit. Now he's never said he was a gang member. I don't remember. I don't know if Drake has ever claimed to be a gang member. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of rappers still put gun bar. I like a lot of rappers that you may not have thought had gun bars have gun bars.
I mean, well, Wayne gets a pass. We know Wayne's not gangster because we saw him as a child. Pause. Right? He's been doing music since he's like fucking 8 years old. Like we know you're not selling drugs with a lucrative rap career. Like,
Bling bling.
so he gets a pass. And he's really deeply respected within like the higher ranks of hip hop. So I never want to take anything away from him, but it's hard to call him to, I know he has lines that referencing gangster shit. Like I get it, but like if I seen you from a child to an adult and all you did was make music, I know you're not selling drugs. Like you're not shooting it, you're not doing that, right? Hove came into the game at 26. He was already a grown man and didn't want to rap because he was making so much money on the street. So when he be on the gangster shit, okay, he probably did that shit for real. Maybe not to the extremes, but just
Even
something
though
that,
Biggie had to get dragged off the corner.
yes,
Yeah, Biggie did. Yeah.
To drag these niggas off the corner to do something else with their life outside of selling drugs because they was making so much motherfucking money. That shit is crazy to me. Shit crazy.
I don't know. I just think that what Kendrick did is very revolutionary. I think it's legendary. I think what we witnessed was history.
We
We
did.
witnessed some history. We
100%.
witnessed some history. 100%, man. And
Yeah, we may not see something like this again for a while.
may not, may not. And to believe that all of this kind of came about through a so-called beef, guys going at it on different records. But it's just like Kendrick went in, Kendrick with full force, and to even have, come on, man, like to have your diss record played 6 times and the whole crowd knows it word for word, bar for bar. He didn't even have to spit the shit.
The second and third time he did it was fucking magic. Because that nigga didn't say nothing. The second time he did it, the nigga didn't say a word. He was
Even had Dr. Dre come on there and just do the I see dead.
Introduced the first one like,
all this on Juneteenth, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it even more epic. That's what makes it even more epic. You will always remember, even for every Juneteenth that comes, you will always remember. You remember when Kendrick did that fucking concert?
Yeah. It'd be just like that, just how you said it too.
Bro, Kendrick did the concert on this day, bro. It's fucking crazy.
So he's gonna be looking for cheer for the same thing. And he's not gonna do
it. This is tied. Yeah, his name, and
forever tied with Juneteenth.
Not like us, and the concert. All of that is gonna be tied with Juneteenth forever. Yeah, it's a day. It's definitely a landmark day in hip hop history for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt, no doubt. As we getting ready to wrap up, man, let's get to these winners and losers, y'all. Let's go. All right, man. Winners and losers. If you're first time watching this show, man, winners and losers. I go throughout the week. I decide who is a winner, who is a loser in my book, for whatever the case may be. This one, I mean, hey, it's kind of self-explanatory, and you probably already know why. So let's just go ahead and get into it, even though I do not want to acknowledge these motherfuckers. I have to acknowledge them.
Okay.
I don't want to acknowledge them, but I got to acknowledge them. The winners are the Boston Celtics. They have won their 18th championship in franchise history. They did it. They won. All of that shit. I'm not a big Boston Celtics. I can't really stand the fucking franchise, but they won, man. They won. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they finally got theirs. Al Horford got his. Kristaps Porzingis has his. The city of Boston can celebrate.
Hey, you can get off the screen now. You can get
racist rednecks.
There you go.
All you motherfuckers. So, congratulations, Boston. I have to, it's in the books. Y'all did it. You won. Congratulations.
Yeah. Salute to them. Yeah, cool. Jason Tatum. Yeah.
I like Al Horford. I never had a problem with Al Horford. Plays hard.
I fuck with Horford.
Been in the league a long time.
I like Brown too. I like Jaylen Brown. And I really don't have nothing against Tatum. But it's something about.
No, there's a clip. Did you see the clip of Jason Tatum? And they fused it with like all the old celebrations. Like he was like copying off of he was saying all the punchlines of all the greatest players, like Kevin Garnett, Steph Curry. He took a picture. He took a picture holding a trophy like Kobe by himself holding the trophy. Like it was. They said, man, this motherfucker has no personality of his own. Like his whole personality is fused with he's like the first internet NBA champion. Like he's like the damn Twitter champion. Because it seemed like all of his none of his celebrations or lines, any of that shit sounded genuine. It's like all of it was clipped from other people.
You're too damn good for all that. You're too good for all that.
Did y'all see that clip? That I didn't see
the clip, but all minute I just seen them. I seen them individually.
Yeah. It was an individual. Yeah, individual. It's something about him and that Kobe shit, bro. It kind of just.
I mean, that's his idol. I mean, I get it. That's one of his.
I respect it. I respect it. But still be yourself.
Kobe and Katie got a lot of kids out here.
Yeah, that's what they basically said. Like this dude just cannot be himself. Like, does he have his own personality? Basically.
It do seem a lot of his shit do seem a little forced. Even when he said at the press conference or whatever, that shit when he just wherever I forgot what he said, but he just walked off after he said it. It don't that's not even you. You probably real cool and stuff. You probably got a person like Kawhi, and you just kind of like putting on this persona so people like you and stuff. Like, don't do that. You too good for all that.
He stole old boys from baseball, the Houston Nationals. He stole their thing. Talking about, I guess we'll never know.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, Kanye said that shit too.
Yeah.
It's just like he probably don't even like talk like that when he be at the crib with his homies.
Yeah, but he does.
How'd you feel about MVP?
Who got it?
Jaylen Brown.
Brown deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Jaylen Brown got it. He deserved it. If they would have gave it to Tatum, that would have been some bullshit.
Yeah, they just would have gave it to him because he's supposed to be the number one on the team. Yeah. It's not. It's Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I think it's what I noticed. I mean, I don't like the Celtics, but I watched a lot of their games simply because I'm an NBA fan. I like watching playoff basketball, and what I noticed is that Brown is the most vocal, also on the team. Like getting guys hyped up, telling guys, "Hey, keep playing through it. You know, we can come back in this game. You know, we know they're gonna make a run. You know, so if it can never be in relation to the Lakers. It can never be AD's team if he's not the vocal lead. Like it's hard for me to believe that it can be a guy's team when he's not the vocal leader of the team.
True.
It's hard for me to believe that about any team, whether it be NFL, baseball, basketball. If it's your team, you're the leader. You're gonna stand up and talk. Like you're gonna be the leader vocally, and that all that lead by example stuff. I mean, maybe it worked with Tim Duncan. I guess with Tim Duncan to a certain extent. I think the Spurs were kind of different though.
Yeah, because he wasn't. They didn't have a leader dude. They had like 7 or 8 dudes who was really good, and they had a Hall of Fame.
Popovich was that goddamn leader.
Yeah, that's probably what it really is. Yeah,
that's
Pop was their biggest personality, and that's who they really listened to. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Those guys had a lot of, I think, internal kind of fortitude. And they didn't necessarily need a player leader and stuff like that. I don't even remember too many times where you'll always hear sometimes a team is struggling, right? And then they'll have a players only meeting, so that leaks to the media, and then you'll get Stephen A or Fat Horse. They'll come out and they'll say, hey, yeah, this particular player was the most vocal, in this players only meeting that they had. And, it seems like he's really trying to, grow into a leadership type of role. I see that in Brown, man. To me, the Celtics is Brown's team. It's not Tatum's team. To me, that's just me personally.
They wanted it to be Tatum's team at first, but Brown took over. That's what it was. Brown took over.
So.
Yeah. I think Brown is actually your number one. Tatum is your number 2 at this point. And then
too good for all this. He's too good. He's better from a skill standpoint. Not to cut you off, but from a skill standpoint, Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. He's better, especially at that height. He's like 6'10", 6'9", or something like that. So he can do a lot. So he's going to have to really assert himself next season to kind of move in and be more vocal, at least to kind of move into that leadership position. Because right now, the Jaylen Brown team.
Square band. Oh, he also he got LMA pregnant. So
shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Supposedly they married or something. They might be looking.
Could be. I don't know. I mean,
LMA ready. So shout out to him.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown's tribe too. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's a Hebrew Israelite. So shout out to that man. You know what I'm saying?
He kind of like a nigger.
He shouts out the Most High. So
yeah,
it's all good. So yes, those are my winners. Fuck ass Boston Celtics.
We don't like the
I've never like. I've got respect for some like players like Bird and Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale. You know, um, I don't really even consider KG really a part of it, even though he won over there. He's more of a Timberwolf for me. Um, Paul Pierce, yeah.
Paul Pierce.
No respect for Paul. I mean, the cold thing about hating on Paul Pierce is that I hate to hate on West Coast guys, especially
He's
dudes
good.
from Inglewood, from LA. I hate.
Paul just
I
think he bigger than what he is.
He's
Bro,
always thought that.
he's
He
always
thinks he's bigger than what he. When he tried to sit there and compare himself to D Wade's career, I was like, bro, shut up.
Jalen.
Jalen Rose stopped that real quick. He's like, bro, he put out the stats and it did not say nothing.
I mean, Paul
Uh,
Pierce. I believe Paul Pierce is a Hall of Fame player, though. In my opinion, I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
He's just a goof in retirement. That's all. He's just a goof. If he was a goof while he was playing, we didn't see it a lot because there wasn't a lot of social media back then. But right now, he's just a goof.
his goof moment was when he went off in a damn uh, wheelchair and he just had to go back there and take a shit.
Well, yeah.
And that was that goof moment right there.
Yeah.
But I digress. I don't want to talk about Boston Celtics no more. Fuck them. My losers are my Dallas Mavericks. Now, understand this, man. I'm still, they're losers because they lost in the NBA Finals, but they're still winners in my book because they were the best in the West this year. They really defied a lot of odds. A lot of people did not expect Dallas to even get that far. Did not even expect them to get to the NBA Finals. So, lots of love and respect for what they did. They just need to get them a better bench, surround Luka and Kai with some better people. Look, we got to play some better defense and whatnot. But I feel like the future is bright for Dallas. I feel like you will see them again next year in the playoffs with a better team, better defense. Um, I feel like, man, they can probably still possibly make a run. If they do what they need to do, I think they can still make a run. So, even though they lost in the finals, they're still the best in the West. So it is what it is.
Apparently, the new majority owners of the Mavericks are loaded with cash.
Fucking loaded.
So with that said, it's a lot of teams in Dallas pushing to try to win, and the Cowboys try. Even though their fans may be a little delusional about actually winning, but they do try. They try to win. The Rangers won recently. They put a lot of money into their team. The Stars are good. Often they're pretty good, and the Mavs they're loaded. So they're trying to push to win too. So with loaded owners like that who's trying to push to win, they have a chance to try to get better. It's all about the front office now, and see if they can bring some more guys in, if they can move around the salary cap. Every team has problems with that. The Lakers for sure have problems with cap money, cap space, trying to fit guys in. So
We're a little bit better off going into this season, though. We can make some moves. I doubt the team get significantly better though, but we can make some moves. Niggas don't have no hope in teams, man.
Wait, what was that?
I was like, niggas don't be having no hope. Like with me, like when it comes to the Lakers, like being like a fan for this long, like then in my entire life, you just seen every single thing these guys can do with the team. You just seen it all, right? We've been in this position before, right? Sometimes we'll go deep into the playoffs. Other time we'll flame out. Like you just seen it. So I'm just like, I don't know. Ain't nothing got to do could surprise me at this point, except for hiring JJ Redick because that's still surprising and weird. But whatever.
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Let's wait to see what happens in this draft because we might get another surprise coming up soon. And that
drafts, off season, all this shit. I think the biggest storyline in this draft coming up is who's going to end up getting Bronny.
That's my point because I saw a blurb that said that the Mavs think that that they were looking at him. Supposedly, the Mavs were looking at him.
Mavs and Raptors, and I think it was another team that was looking at him or whatever.
And the
But
Mavs think that he's gonna be gone by the time they pick.
Yeah,
And
they got
that's
like
crazy.
58th pick. They got like the 58th pick. Like they don't believe like he's gonna drop that far.
But that's crazy to me. I don't think he should be drafted. Like I don't think he's talented enough to be drafted, period. And I don't understand what's going on with that, right? Because to me, what it sounds like either the media making shit up for one, or teams trying to trick the Lakers into thinking that Bronny has more value than he really has.
No, I think it's business. 100%. I don't think it's just basketball at all. I think it's a straight business. You get Bronny and you put him in the G League for a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. G League.
Pull him up in the middle of the season and watch everybody and their grandmother
Fucking frenzy.
Tune into those games.
It's a frenzy.
We're all going to watch those games. We're all going to see what he do.
Because he's gonna have to go. If they pull him up, he's gonna have to go into the game. He has to go into the game.
He's good enough to play, right? You're gonna stick him in the G League first, and we're gonna watch those games too, because those games will be nationally televised. When we didn't watch some shits before, whoever he get picked up by, like it's gonna be a mess. And I don't think he should be drafted. I think he needed one full year of college. But if you can get out now, come get the money and get out now. But I don't have high hopes, and we as a team should not draft him at all. That's not what we need.
Well, he decided he was gonna go into the draft. Somebody's gonna end up picking him. Somebody will. And I agree with you. Business. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. Fellas, man, another great show, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys joining in. Man, bro, Brian up there, Chris down there at the bottom, man. Chris, let them know about your show, man. Y'all got to tune into the Chris Gray Show.
Chris Gray Show on YouTube, on Instagram. It's there for you. The Chris Gray Show also on TikTok as well. Like, comment, and subscribe. We got some good stuff going on there.
Hilarious shit, bro. It's hilarious shit. If y'all have not seen it, please go see the Chris Gray Show on Instagram, on your TikTok. All that. You'll love the subjects that he talks about and how he does it, man. It's just hilarious, man. Very, very hilarious. Y'all already know, man. I always tell you people, man, if you guys are seeking anything, man, seeking any mental help, please call somebody, help. Get that help that you need, because mental health is serious. I always like to leave the number down there, but call your local people down there. Cool to have your friends to talk to, man, but sometimes it's cool to talk to somebody that you ain't talked to before, man, so they can give you some knowledge and some information, tell you something that you may need to hear to help you on your way, man. Like I said, it is real. Somebody who has suffered from it, his own stance, man, but I'm doing good, and I appreciate having brothers like these two guys and other people in my life, man, to help me through the stuff, man. So I've been good. I've been very, very good. So I'm happy about that, man. But for myself, man, for MCXPRadio, for BGSENetwork, for the Chris Gray Show, from me, from my boy Brian, man, all of that good stuff, man. I appreciate you people. Until next time, I will holler at y'all. Hey, they not like us. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Cruising in a Rari with the hair and nails and toes done. Always keep it stylish. Never gonna give me.
We're gonna make a lot of women mad at this one, but it's alright.
Never gonna get a shot at romance. It's kinda too